Welcome to Positive Waves. My name is Matthew Collinson, and here's my great friend.
Joseph Soma.
It's good to see you guys today. I woke up this morning and all I could say was thank you, thank you, thank you. I just felt like this overawing kind of feeling. It's such a feeling that is so deep that you just feel like everything is there, everything is vibing exactly how it should be. My kids are healthy, totally thankful. My wife was still lying next to me, totally thankful. It's like that attitude of gratitude is super important when it comes to getting into any kind of state of mind. And I know I beat this like a bad thing, but
About like a rug.
like a
Like
rug. I beat it
people
like a
used to beat the
rug.
rugs back in the day.
But do you ever just wake up and like just know everything's like going just exactly how it should be?
I know the feeling you're talking about when you wake up and you just know from the moment you open your eyes and become conscious to the world again that wow, I'm like floating. I'm like glowing. Like this is an amazing day. Like I gotta get the fuck up and go have an amazing day. And then there's the other days where, like I always say, I gotta tell myself it's another day in paradise and I make it that paradise. But when you wake up and you truly feel that sensation of that paradise from head to toe just vibrating within you, I mean, there ain't nothing better than that. That just
It
that's
was
like
like when Joey was on. It's just that pure white feeling, where it's just you feel that white light just shining out and ready to go, and it's like everything's happening exactly as it should for this very specific reason that it's happening. Now that's funny because then you get to fate discussion and that kind of thing, and you know, I don't know, choice, no choice, but um I wanted to make a couple of announcements before we started. Are you good with that, Joe?
yeah. Yeah, I know you were talking about your book club. Are you ready to launch that? When's that starting?
Tomorrow, actually, at
Tomorrow
5
already. Holy
p.
moly.
Yeah, man, tomorrow. It was like so quick too.
Right.
But go ahead.
No, I was just right because we talked about it, seemed like only a couple days ago, and here it is already launching.
My God, it went by so quick. That's the beauty of this kind of fun stuff, though. It's like it's just fun stuff to do, and it's like I'm trying to connect with other people who want to read and like really learn and put whatever we're learning from books into action because I think that is super important. Now, I'm not gonna like do it over and over again. I do want to like move through a series of books because that's what I enjoy doing, and I want to find other people who enjoy doing it.
Right on. Well, what book are you starting with?
I'm starting with a Stephen Covey book, Principle Centered Leadership.
That sounds like it's definitely going to be good for your growth.
Yeah, I really enjoy that kind of thinking. I like all kinds of thinking. It's funny how many subjects my brain goes through. Do you find yourself going through a lot of subjects?
Yeah, I tend to put way too much on my plate, and then I spin myself out, getting all stressed out. Like, how am I going to handle all this? I do the same thing with my reading material. I've got like 8 or 9 books down here by my knee. That's all in line for me to start reading. But I'm in another class where we're doing the course on miracles, where we just like restarted it from the beginning now. So we're going to be going through that from the beginning. And then
Yes.
I'm usually in another call where we do books here and there, and we've done a lot like on money, the power of money, the vibration of money, your feelings and emotions towards money, and how to shift and change that. Because so many people out there say, money is the root of all evil, and it's not. It's what you
It's
make of it. It's a
it's
tool.
not that though. It's
Yes.
misquoted. It's the love of money is
Either
the
way,
evil piece.
putting the labels on it is what screws us, is basically what it boils down to. And just accepting it as a tool and using it for however is how it benefits you.
Yeah, I think once you get into your purpose mode, your real feeling mode, though. I don't think it becomes an issue. It's not even a thought very much anymore. It's more of a, I know what I'm doing here and I know what I'm going after, whether I'm getting money or not. It's kind of irrelevant at that point.
Well, that's where it goes to training the mindset. I mean, that's one thing that I love, like you working with people's dreams. I love to understand the mind and why we think the way we do. And I was one of those people that money was the root of all evil, and that explains why I never had any of it. And as I shift my
There you go.
vibrational thoughts towards it, here I am. I mean, I'm not no billionaire or anything at the moment, but I've seen my financial situation shift, change. And then going back to the whole attitude of gratitude, being grateful for all I have here now in this present moment has also shifted and brought more things into my world that I just honestly I couldn't imagine before. It just wasn't even in my ability to perceive that I could have that. And here it is, like freaking sweet.
Yeah, I think it's amazing, which is why and all these thoughts, all these processes are in books. That's the point of the book club part. So that starts at 5 p.m. PST time. If anyone's interested, message, you know where to find me. You can just message the positive waves. I see it there and I can connect with you. Beyond that, this Thursday, we have our final session of our goals and actions. Last week, Joe and I recorded a nice piece that we're going to be putting into the courses for the Tsunami and Wave members. This week is going to be based on action, taking those goals and putting them into action. So if you want to participate and you'd like to come onto the show and you'd like to be able to discuss the actions that you are taking to get towards your goals, please subscribe to either the Wave or the Tsunami membership and you will get your invite that day.
Definitely come join us. Give me some new tools. Help me learn. Like last week, last Thursday, I can't even begin to describe all the stuff that I took away, all of the knowledge and learning. You know, it's been a beneficial course thus far, and it's only a two-part one this month. So I'm definitely grateful that you brought this up to us. You know, not just to you and I, but to us as a collective, because this is definitely something we all can grow from if we take that time to learn.
It's kind of the point. So today's episode, Joe has a subject he would like to talk about. Go ahead, Joe.
So yeah, when we were discussing like what do we want to discuss today, and you're asking how my weekend was, my first thought was fucking hectic, just chaotic. Like holy crap, I made it though, I survived. But it brought to my mind also the thought of scheduling. You know, we all schedule, we all plan our stuff, but at the same time, we're told it's great to be spontaneous. And I had a situation last Thursday, actually right before our podcast event call, my hot water tank blew up. And if y'all know, that is not a fun thing or a pretty sight. Thankfully, I was home to shut that water off before it got bad, so no major damage, but my scheduled Friday did not occur. I had to get hot water, and going back to that gratitude, how grateful am I to have hot water in my home again and be able to take that nice hot shower. So so much emotion has rolled through me this weekend. I mean, really since Thursday night, it's just been a roller coaster of what the fuck. But like I said, I survived.
Sometimes that's all you can be grateful for, man, and that's okay. Like just finding one thing you're grateful for, just survival is a good thing. I'm here still.
Oh yeah, no, I'm grateful I survived. I'm grateful I got hot water. I'm grateful I made my Saturday schedule happen because that was part of my son's robotics stuff. So I just know when things pop up, it's great to have that spontaneity depending on what it is. I would have rather had like someone call me up and say, "Hey, I got an extra ticket to go to the Bahamas. You wanna, take a weekend flight?" That's the spontaneity I would love to have. This hot water tank, didn't really love it. I didn't really hate it because I'm thankfully experienced in, home repairs and stuff. I just had to get that assistance to help move stuff around because obviously I'm not capable of throwing a hot water tank into the trailer anymore. It's not of my abilities. But yeah, it got me thinking about how do we navigate life when we have that schedule to keep, but those moments happen where you got to be spontaneous and make that shift.
Yeah, I think it's important to have both for sure. Because you do need to have a solid foundation of habits to be good, like really good, like good in the head, good in the mind, good in the body. Like that's the whole point, right?
Hmm.
Um, so to get to, I think the spontaneous part, I think, is the hard part to implement. And I think having an open enough schedule to have times to where you're going to be like thinking, times that you're going to be reading, times you're going to have nothing on the schedule and you'll get to decide what you want to do.
Right.
I think that's important. But spontaneity, I think, also has to play a part in there. And I think it needs to come with you just get up and go. And that's like,
That's a good reason to leave time open in your schedule. You can decide whatever you want to do at that point. And there's other times like my whole hot water tank where my schedule for Friday was just done, ain't happening. This has to happen instead. So I guess there's different types of spontaneity in life, and
well, it's urgent. That's an urgency thing. It's like an emergency that needs to be taken
true.
care of now. And those are going to pop up here and there in life, regardless of
Right.
how good or not good it is.
Right. Well, either way, as you were talking, it got me thinking how great it is to be around such wonderful people that I can call them up on a spur of a moment notice and just say, "Hey, this just happened. I need to cancel, or I need to move, or I need to push back, whatever it may be for you at the moment." For me, it was, "I've got to handle this hot water tank. Can I get back with you, next week and reschedule this?" And I thankfully work with so many wonderful people that everybody was just like, "Oh man, that sucks. Yeah, do what you got to do. Sending love and light to you. Hopefully you get that handled quickly and efficiently, and save as much money as possible or whatever. You know, and it's great to have those type of people in my proximity, as some would say.
Yeah, you're building a community that supports each other.
Understanding, conscious, caring, loving, heart centered, like definitely different than the people that I grew up with. The mindsets of those, from my teens into my 20s and all that, it was definitely a different mindset, definitely a different story or outcome in life would have occurred.
Well, part of it is that that's our environment as well. Part of the whole like biggest issue I feel with the entire planet is that there are so many people stuck in that cycle of the watching the news, the only focusing on the bad things, the focusing on the depressing things, the focusing on the I can't things. Like those all add up over time. And then it's just a habit that you're doing every day, cycling over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I was stuck in those cycles too. I'm still stuck in some of those cycles. Like, come on, we're all growing all the time. So none of us are perfect. If you ever claim you are, it's kind of okay, cool. I'm glad you are. I guess perfectly imperfect. Imperfect, perfect.
Something like that, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't
Yeah, no, that's part of why I stopped watching news because that all weighed on me and it literally brought me down and it kept my vibration low. And it's, as we know, it's difficult to send any type of positive wave to yourself or to anyone else when you're weighed down and bogged down with so much negativity, hate, anger, rage. The news is not always filled with those happy-go-lucky stories. Every now and then you'll get one, but you tend to have to wait till the end of the broadcast after you heard 500 other stories about horrible things.
Yeah, the good news is there are specific media now that are coming out more often. I see that are focused on the good as opposed to focusing on the bad. Now they're not as popular because they're not focusing on the bad.
Well, we definitely need to know who they are so we can help support them because we need more of that in this world. I mean, yeah,
Good
bad stuff
idea.
happens and that's fine. I do want to know, but I don't want to hear every horrible story that happened that day and not hear anything to balance it out. Like we get that balance in there and that doesn't allow our energy to fall. That allows us to remain in that balanced state.
Then how can you take that lesson and bring it to the current problem that we're talking about right now, which is scheduling versus spontaneity?
Well, like everything in life, it's finding that balance. But what is that balance, for you in your life? Like I was saying a moment ago, it's great to have that thought process of scheduling time. Like, let me get 4 hours on a Friday afternoon, and whatever happens, happens. Schedule nothing, but plan on getting out of the house. Go for a walk in the woods, or go hit a kayaking river, creek, or something. I mean, I'd rather a current help move me than just go kayak at the lake or the marsh, because that's a lot of pedaling. But yeah, it's finding that time and having it set off to the side, I guess, would be ideal. So how much time should you give yourself? Do it on a daily, do it on a weekly?
There are people who give themselves years. Like I know people who just travel around the country hitchhiking and shit. Like, and that's cool. Like I think I dig that. Like you are following you, man. Like I think that is the neatest thing in the world. Like I do that mostly. I just take responsibility for my family because that's what I want to be doing and doing on purpose, you know? I mean, that's the point of all of life, I feel.
Right?
You do things on purpose.
Definitely doing the family thing now, but yeah, I totally plan on living that what do they call it? The gypsy lifestyle, where you're just traveling, get into an RV and just go. At least I got a comfy bed every night, right?
Yeah. And people do that with their kids too. I see it like with some people, and I think that's cool too. I don't think there's any right or wrong with it, any of it. It's just whether their kids are actually up for it or not, too, which is another whole
Right.
subject.
Well,
Uh,
we also got those families that are separated. I've got to get that special permission from mom and from the court to take my son out of state. So before the age of 18, that it's doable, it's possible, but got to get that permission
well,
to
then you just follow the steps, but
exactly. But I don't know how much of a long-term thing that could be. Like, go spend 6 months in an RV. I don't know if mom would be happy with that.
you just, well, really, ideally, though, you just need to have whatever you need for
Right.
that to
Right.
happen.
For
That's
now,
the
it's
plan.
just those week vacations. Grab
Yeah.
the pop-up camper, head up north, and go camp in the UP. It's a totally different world up there, anyway.
Heck yeah, man. Yeah, me and my wife want to go hiking a lot more up because we have a ton of hikes here in Oregon. Like it's ridiculous. Like I don't like get some favorite trails in there for sure, but if you want a new one, there's always a new one to find.
Well, that's good.
I think it's
Yeah,
freaking awesome.
just got to drive there. Unless it's close enough to walk, then.
Mm, most of them are pretty out there. Uh,
I know the closest walking path to my house is like 10 minutes or something like that. And then from there, it's like half hour, 45 hour, and
mm.
just getting further and further out.
Yeah, speaking of spontaneity, that's actually how I got into the whole skydiving thing.
Yeah.
It was spontaneous.
Just
Uh,
on a whim, hey, let's pull in here and see what they want to do with me.
no, it was we were out with down in Bend with my parents because that's where they live, and I was we had breakfast or whatever, and we were just driving back. We were like, "What do we want to do today?" Because we were just kind of farting around doing nothing, and then we were talking, and I was like, "Well, one thing I'd want to do is like skydiving eventually. It's on my bucket list, kind of thing." And Sarah, my wife, said the same
Yeah.
thing, and then my mom's like, "So if we called them now and saw see if they have any openings, you do it now?" I was like, "Yeah."
Cool.
And
Hell
so she
yeah.
did, and we did. And my dad went too, so that was cool. But we were in a separate plane from my dad, so
That's awesome.
that was so much fun, man.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's definitely being spontaneous.
Yeah, and that's like, but man, you get these pulls in life, and they just tug at you until you either notice it or it gives you a really big tug.
Right.
And good or bad, or telling you to rest your body or not, or get out there and do more or whatever it is that's telling you. What I was hearing the other day actually on Jordan Peterson, man, that guy's been popping up on my radar lately. I'm gonna have to read a couple more of his books, but he was talking about how we are unhappy with ourselves because we aren't doing what we really want to be doing.
Generally,
Like,
yeah.
why aren't we doing what we really want to be doing? There is nothing stopping us beyond whatever's stuck there.
Programming. That's what's stuck there. We're taught to think how we have to this, we have to that, we have to just earn a good income. It's not about happiness, it's about money. How much money do you have? Is your house nicer than your neighbor's? Is your grad? It doesn't fucking matter. When you follow your heart and you're happy with what you're doing, none of that matters.
I think waking up and being in love with who you are in your life is I wish that on everybody.
Right?
Because if everyone got to that state, by God, George, we'd have we'd have peace in the world.
It's coming, man. It's not too far away. Slowly but surely, it's coming in closer and closer.
That's my hope, man. That's what I keep going after. I see you shuffling over there.
Yeah.
Joe be a shuffling,
But
shuffling.
before I read that card, though, what you were talking about following that feeling, following that intuition, that brought me back to the Diamond Matrix school I was doing with Ruth Elizabeth, and that's part of one of the courses she teaches is I forget exactly how she worded it, but it basically falls under the line of doing just that, following that gut feeling, that intuitional pull. Like I think she said something about you feel that fire in your feet, walk towards it, just go, just get up and go. It doesn't matter. Like, and that's falling into that spontaneity of like, oh, I'm being pulled this way, and you go, you don't question, you don't ask, you just do, and that's been beneficial for my growth because it has helped me open up to start doing so. And whenever I do it, something amazing happens. And one of the last times, speaking of the Rebel deck, I felt the call to take my Rebel deck with me. And Darla and I went out and we hit like 4 different restaurants, and none of them were what we wanted, what we needed, were open, whatever. And we finally landed at this right one. And this right one, our waitress ended up getting a Rebel deck card read that was exactly what she needed at that moment. And it was one of those, how beautiful was that to just follow that intuition. No, I needed to take that deck with me, and whatever happened happened. So definitely follow that intuition. Let those feet carry you to where you're being guided to go. Get out of your head, stop fighting that, and then stop fighting with that whole I gotta follow my schedule, I can't stop and do that. Well, when you don't stop and do that, you're denying yourself amazing things. So yeah, I guess you're right. Allowing that spontaneous to overcome the schedule, I guess, is a good thing at times, hearing myself talk. But the Rebel deck card that popped up for today, and it literally flew out of the deck, I had to go retrieve it, says that project, that person, that idea is waiting. Get after that shit. The whole world has your back. That's beautiful. But you can't make that shit up.
So speaking of spontaneity, just do it, guys. Just do it.
Mm-hmm. As the card says, get after that shit. The world has your back.
Well, if you guys would like to take action, come take action on Thursday with us.
Yes. Oh yeah, looking forward to seeing some more people join us to have a bigger, better conversation. I mean, it was still a great chat, don't get me wrong, but having more perspectives, more ideas, more ways of life is an amazing thing to help us all grow and learn. So definitely come join.
Yeah, man, I love having more voices, more perspectives, like you said, man. That's what fake like hopes everything in life is finding the perspective that works for you.
Mm-hmm.
So find that perspective that works for you and go after it. There is no one here that has your dream.
So again, get that shit. The world has your back.
All right. I hope you all have a great day. We're sending you positive waves every day. So please take care and have fun, guys.
Thank y'all.